So it looks like we got a problem with Aliens Armageddon. It's pretty simple, really. The right gun here has no recoil at all. It's not just weak, it's completely non-existent. Now I don't know about you guys, but I just love taking these guns apart. It's just my favorite thing in the whole wide world. There's absolutely nothing I would rather do. So let's go ahead and remove all 87 screws and see what we find. Also, I'm curious, what's your favorite color Skittle? Mine are the red ones, so I saved those for last. Anyways, I got the screws all out. We can pick this up. There is a switch right there. So we can just go ahead and set that aside. I got the switch out. And right here is our recoil solenoid. What happens most frequently with this is that this little rod back here, it's got all these little bushings on it. And zooming in on it, you can already see that they are broken. However, that normally leads to a weak recoil and not a complete lack of recoil. So while, yeah, they're broken and I'll have to replace those, that's probably not what's causing our problem. Another thing I see right off the bat is right there. That little bronze piece should not be down like that. Bronze, brass, whatever it is. That should be connected to that. You see, it's even got threads on it. So maybe that's our problem. The solenoid feels fine. I don't feel any physical resistance. The red wires appear to be fine all the way over to the connector right here. Those red wires turn into this white and red, and that leads all the way to this board right here. This is your kickback solenoid driver board, and like it sounds, that drives the solenoid for the recoil or kickback. First test, I'm going to unplug the solenoid from right here. I'm going to get out a multimeter. We are going to go to ohms, so let's select ohms right there. And we will probe our connector. Now I don't know what it should read, but I do know it should not read 0 and it should not read OL. And we are reading 2.2. Maybe that's good, maybe not. But there is some resistance, so it's probably near where it should be. I don't see anything immediately wrong with the board here. Let's go ahead and throw in a new kickback board, and we'll just see if we get any change in behavior. It's literally 2 screws and 1 connector, so might as well. If for some reason you're curious, there's a part number. Plug that guy back in like that. Let's go ahead and try playing it again. I mean, maybe it'll work. Nope, no it does not. Really sucks I don't have another solenoid, and no way in heck am I taking that gun apart. So I took this gun apart. So let's harvest its solenoid. Really? Who put the screw right there? Before I remove it all the way though, let's probe it. And I'm getting pretty much the same ohms as I did on the other one. And we'll take out this horribly placed screw. Now we can remove the solenoid. Now come back over here, unscrew this guy. Oddly enough, this solenoid looks newer than that one does. And at this point, I think the solenoid is fine. Our problem might be harness or game side related, but I've been wrong plenty of times before. So let's find out. I'm just gonna set that right there for now. We'll get this guy put back in here, screw it all back down, plug it back in. And yes, this solenoid did work on that gun. So I know for sure that this solenoid itself works. All right, let's see what happens. Nope, still nothing. So I think our next logical step, while we have both of the guns apart, would be to remove the gun entirely from the harness, which shouldn't actually be that hard, and take it to the other side. Now we'll just get everything plugged right back in. All right, I got this side back enough to test, and if we try shooting, still no action on the solenoid. Now swapping guns may have been a little bit redundant, but it just helps us show that out of everything I tested, the problem is not with the gun itself, not the solenoid, not the kickback board. It's either harness related or game side related. So I'm gonna go ahead and get both the guns closed back up. Alright, I got that gun put back together. He's still working on that one over there. But now that I wasted all that time, we know we have a harness problem or a game problem. So let's go over here behind the game, open up the back door, and we'll look inside here. Our cables come from up there, and then plug it in the back of the computer. Each one has a USB cable, and that goes to the camera. And it also has this connector, and that goes to like your kickback board. It goes to your LED board and your switches. This is the one for player 1, and this is the one for player 2. And one thing that's really interesting is that this is connected very wrong. So let's look at the one for player 1. You have your I/O connector, right? Like I said, camera is a USB. Your I/O is this one. And it runs through this fuse and then to another connector. Now this should run up to the gun, but it doesn't. This then runs through another fuse and into another connector and then to the gun. And it's not supposed to. This should not be connected here at all. So let's disconnect that. We'll disconnect this side as well. So now we'll take this and we'll plug it in down here where it should go. Now we'll disconnect this one for player 2. We'll plug in this little sub harness that has a fuse on it, and we'll plug that in to the harness that goes to the gun. Now, was that our problem? I really don't know. I don't really think so, because if this is for the solenoid, removing it would have just basically bypassed it, right? Unless they have it wired in a way to where removing it doesn't really just bypass it. Only one way to find out. No, still no recoil. Alright, so still no recoil. Let's go ahead and check these fuses. It would make sense that the fuse would control the solenoid. This fuse is good, and this other fuse is also good. Alrighty, so it's not a fuse. It's nothing on the gun side. It probably isn't USB related because that's just for the camera. Now, most likely this is a harness issue, but I've been burned by the most likely before. Alright, so just for funsies, I pulled both of these out because I noticed when I attached the other one back to where it was supposed to go, player 1 recoil stopped working. So I pulled them both out. Now let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. I don't know how well you can tell that, but now it works. So our problem is with these guys. Neither one of them work actually. Even though both fuses were fine, there's probably a problem with the way that it connects to the fuse. Yeah, so if I probe the wire there and I probe the wire here, nothing. And even if I just start trying to find it, like 36 ohms is not good. That ain't gonna work. So these guys are definitely our problem. And to be honest, they seem like overkill. I mean, I get it, you want to add a fuse to it, but almost like it was an afterthought. Like, hey, let's just extend the harness and throw a fuse in the middle. I can think of at least one better way to do it. If you look up here, they literally have a better way of doing it right there. And something else, those fuses up there, those are 12-volt fuses. Like if I probe up there, you can see that, well, 11, but, you know, 12. It might be a little bit low, we might have to adjust the power supply, but the point is, those are 12-volt fuses. And after looking at the schematic, 12 volts is sent directly to that board up there in the gun. And the signal to activate it comes from the USB. So if you already have a 12-volt fuse on there, why add a second 12-volt fuse? I mean, okay, yeah, I guess I get it. If your solenoid goes bad, it blows this fuse and not 12 volts to the entire game. I guess that makes sense. So now that I know what the problem is, how am I going to fix it? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep these, but rather than having these inline fuses on there, I'm going to cut the wires on either end, and right down here, maybe off the side somewhere, up here, somewhere around here, I'm going to add some of those guys. And I'm going to put a spade terminal on both ends of this wire, and basically replicate this setup right here. At the moment, I don't have those. So I'm going to run it like this for now. That way the recoil works, and like I said, even if the solenoid goes bad and the fuse blows, it'll blow one of those fuses. I'm not putting anybody at risk. I'm not putting the game at risk. I'm going to order those, and then when they get here, I'll make a video of me swapping it out. But as of right now, at least for the moment, player 2 recoil now works.